Horry and Georgetown counties, and welcome to Sound Off. Now, Sound Off is heard weekly on your favorite radio station. At Sound Off, it is our goal to deal with topics that are relevant to our youth. And Sound Off is sponsored weekly by Carolina Teen Health. And on this morning, what we will be talking about is parenting. And we will allow our young people to tell us their definition of a good parent or parents based on teenagers, based on their views. But I am really excited to have with me on this morning really good parents. I have Mr. Sean Pierce of Coastal Carolina University. Y'all, let's give it up for Mr. Pierce.
Good morning.
Mr. Sheldon Jarrett, and he works with the Father's Place. Give it up for Mr. Jarrett. And also, my good friend, Miss Roberta Graham, give it up, works at Dillard's. If y'all, that's where you get the sales.
Good morning.
And at this time, team members, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Good morning, guys. It's Tanisha, and I attend Georgetown Tech.
This is DeAndre, and I go to Early College.
This is Michelle DeBerry, and I go to Conway High School.
Javante Sarvis, attending Coastal Carolina University.
Rihanna goes to Creek Bridge High School.
Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, once again, what we're going to be talking about this morning is parenting. And we're going to talk about, we might be shocked. Parents, I'm just telling y'all, we might be really shocked when we hear the definition of what these young people deem as a good parent. So as a parent, what I could honestly say, and I don't know if it works or not, and I'm hoping and praying that once, we as parents allow our young people to be introduced to what we call this real world, they will understand that we tried as parents to equip them with the tools that are necessary. Things as making sure for us, and this is just my opinion, making sure that our young people understand the importance of God. And not in any particular order, but self-value and discipline, and helping them to understand the importance of goal setting, respect, integrity, character. Those are the things that I deem as important as a parent. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to begin with Michelle DeBerry. And Michelle, as a 16-year-old?
17.
17-year-old. Okay, as a 17-year-old. If I would ask you, Michelle, give me your definition of a good parent or parents. How would you respond?
I think good parent is someone or people that give you like a good guidance in life. Like they're trying to show you where to go and how you need to do this and everything, but also someone that gives you your space and doesn't smother you.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's good. What about you, Trey? I'm coming to you second, my dude.
Okay. What I think a good parent or good parents are those that can be there for you whenever you need them. And like Michelle said, don't smother you all the time, but also they can love you and they can just be there for you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Tanisha?
I think good parents are role models to their children. Show them this is how you're supposed to be when you grow up. To show you, like, when you get older, this is how this is, like, just show you how you're supposed to be when you get older. Like, give you that good guidance.
Okay. All right. Javante.
A good parent is someone that shows you love and care, that you can be, they're both a friend and a parent. So it's time to be a friend and there's time to be a parent. Someone that you can go to, talk to without hesitating. Somebody that is going to lead you down the right road and that's going to have a steady balance for you in life, so you're not struggling. And someone that's affectionate.
Someone that's what?
Affectionate.
Okay, affectionate. That's good. Good point. What about you, Rian?
I think a good parent is someone who can balance their friendship with you and they still discipline you so that that you go on the right path and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. Ooh, that's that dangerous word, friendship. Okay, okay. All right, we'll talk about that later, but I'm going to Sean. Okay, Sean,
I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. So what I want to ask you is talk about your parenting style and then talk about your parents' parenting style, and has that had any type of an effect on you, the way you parent your kids?
Well, it did have a big effect on me, and I think a lot of times I take the good and leave the rest with what they've done, and They really did do a great job, but my job hopefully is that I'm a better parent than my parents, and that my kids will be better parents than me eventually. So that's sort of my take on it. Right now I get to be superhero for my kids every 2 to 3 minutes, making them so they don't fall or whatever.
Okay, all right. So, but let me ask you, Sean, how early do you think you have, well, I'll say babies, but they're really not, but really young. You don't have a teenager yet, but how early do you think how early do you think it's necessary to begin to make sure that you instill things as, such things as integrity and character and things like that?
Oh, I think that starts right from the get-go, day one, by getting that good bonding with your child and letting them know that they have a safe and protective atmosphere where they can try things and that we're there for them, but also setting boundaries and limits, because they certainly will test the boundaries, even 2- and 3-year-olds.
Okay.
Especially.
Right. I'm going back to the friendship part, and I want y'all, and then I'm going to Miss Graham, and then I'm going to Mr. Jarrett. But let's go back to this friendship thing. Michelle, get back on the mic. Okay, and I want y'all, come on, I want some dialogue on this, young people. I'm trying to figure it out. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on this, but I really don't think, I think for me, especially being, with us being a parent of an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old, friendship is cool, but it's impossible, in my opinion, to be like friends, because then sometimes when you try to discipline, you're thinking, okay, well, my friend is disciplining me, not my mom or not my dad. So I think how much boundaries should be set as it relates to friendship and when parents are trying to really be parents, or you believe that parents should be best friends with their kids?
People were when we were going around talking about what we think a good parent was, and the whole friendship thing, like, I believe from what I was taught, your mother and your father cannot be your friend. Like, they can be someone that you can go to and you can talk to, but then at the end of the day, that's my elder, and I need to respect them as my elder, not my best friend.
Okay. All right, so Trey, let me ask you, do you think it's possible to be best friends with you and your dad are like, boys, that's my best friend? And I'm asking you, and it's not a right or wrong answer, would you have the same amount of respect for your dad if your dad is your boy, your best friend, or if you see your dad as, you know what, I better not cross the line?
Well, like, he's not my boy or nothing. I'm not gonna like, hey, yo, guess what I did? Like, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, I can be there for, like, certain conversations that we have. I can't have that with my dad, no. I'll be like, I can't just tell you to switch into daddy mode and friend mode, but, certain things I tell you about, I think you should look at it from a different perspective.
Okay.
Because if I say certain things to you, if you looking at it from, like, a parent point, you'd be like, oh, let me go ahead and beat you right now. But nah, I want that.
That's a good point.
I want
Okay.
you to be like, I want you to talk me through it.
Okay.
Then, like, later on through the day, then you can punish me, but because I done got it out my chest.
Right.
But I mean, like Michelle said, you can be friends. I don't know what best friends now. That's
Okay,
just a whole
okay.
different subject. But friends, I mean, you need to have some kind of bond with your parents, because if it's all you do this, then it's going to be more punishment and discipline other than getting to enjoy things with them,
Okay, good. Okay, well, Roberta, I'm coming to you because you have a 17-year-old.
A 17-year-old and a 10-year-old.
And a 10-year-old. Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about the teenager, the 17-year-old. Okay, Darnisha is now 17, so Darnisha probably is going through a lot of changes as a 17-year-old. So, and I'm not, I'm just trying to have some dialogue here. So, can Roberta and Darnisha be best of friend, but don't cross the line of respect?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right.
And I would say that because my parenting is, I tell her what I already been through, so she won't make the same mistakes that I made. I don't sugarcoat it. I just tell her straight out, this is what I did. This is how it wound up. So, just watch out, because when you least expect certain things to happen, that's when it's going to happen. A friend is not going to tell you that because they don't know. They haven't been there. A friend her age. I'm that friend that'll be open with her and just tell her, look, I already experienced it. I already did it. So I don't want you to make that mistake. But at the same time, look, I'm your mother. So if you do cross those boundaries, you know, you're going to have to suffer the consequences. So, I mean, which would you rather? Just take my advice or, you know, suffer the consequences?
But is that a friend or is that a parent?
Yes, because a friend would tell you the truth regardless.
Okay.
Whether
all right.
you like it or not, a friend would tell you.
So you have on your friend hat and parent hat.
Yes. I let her talk openly with me. And now I'm not going to lie, sometimes she'll say, but you just don't understand. Look, I do understand because I was there.
Okay.
I mean, you just seeing it as a parent aspect, but I do understand. I already experienced it.
Okay.
I already been there.
Okay, Michelle.
So,
what Michelle look like she's about to go crazy. What do you have, Michelle?
Okay, this is how I see it. Like, cause I know I talk to my parents and I always tell them, you don't know how I feel. And they always say, yes, I do. But then again, no, you don't. You aren't in my situation, in my predicament, in my place and body that I am right now. You know, you don't know how I feel. You don't know what I see. Like when I go to school and something happens and I come home and I'm upset, you don't know what went on throughout that day. I can tell you, but you don't physically and mentally know what I went through. So you can't always say, I know how you feel, you know, without literally going through it.
no.
Woo. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let Mr. Jarrett jump in on that. Mr. Jarrett, what's your opinion on that, sir?
I would say this. Everybody made some very interesting comments. I would say one is that a parent is a friend. I don't think that you could separate the two. A parent is the first example of a friend, as a parent is the first example of an educator and of a provider and of a counselor and of any other social, interactive commitment or relationship you will have in your life. The parent is supposed to be the first example of all of those social connections and all of those different variations of social relations. The parent is supposed to be that. That way the child knows how to pick friends by the friend that the parent is. The child knows how to accept counsel by the counsel the parent gives, and so on and so forth. In regards to not understanding, and that's one of the biggest things. I have a 17-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old daughter. I'm in a house, me and my wife, we're there together, and it's a struggle. Even when two parents are in the home, it's a struggle. And what I see with what I see with my daughter is pretty simple. When we say we understand, we're saying that there's nothing new under the sun. And so it may not be the identical situation. Like, you are absolutely right. I'm not in her shoes. I'm not at that school. It's a different day and time. But the circumstances of life seems to flow in cycles. So you've seen it before. You know, maybe in a different time and space, but you've seen it and you felt it in the same way. I don't think that, you know, just hypothetically, a person who get clobbered over the head hurts any less than a person who got clobbered over the head 30 years ago. You know, getting clobbered is getting clobbered. And so when we say to our children that we understand, what we're saying is we are a looking glass for the parents who've been through things we've experienced. You know, we didn't get to the age that we are without having gone through things. The idea of telling you that we understand what you're saying is actually an offering of like an olive branch, if you will, for your situation, so that you would open up and sort of express how you feel. It's always better to cope. It's always easier to cope with our feelings, cope with the things that we don't understand when someone is there to cope with us and or facilitate our ability to go through hard things. So again, these are different, you know, strategies that parents strive to apply, you know, who know what they're doing, who've been through the things, and, you know, who have the opportunity and or that privilege of their child being open, because so many children are not open with their parents. They don't have those conversations. Usually, like I say, when there's something going on that the child knows is against common sense, that's when the child won't talk. You know, we've been children before, so you haven't been 20 or 30 yet. We've been 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep going. But, you know, it's just to say,
That's right.
you know.
So, Michelle, that makes sense?
Yeah.
And you know what? my exact words. I wouldn't have said it any better. The conversation will continue. When we come back, we will continue the conversation on parenting. And listen, we want you to join the conversation. Simply log on to www.wesoundoff.com